Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mode channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We are back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my lovely day off. Now today we are back at the house of Lelabo. That's right, Lelabo, one of my favorite houses out there and one of the trendiest out there as well. And today I will be talking about their latest 2026 release that I'm sure a lot of y'all are very aware of. A lot of y'all are actually requesting for me to do this, and so I got the sample, I tried it extensively. Can't wait to give you guys the no hype breakdown on this fragrance right here. Let's go. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 28,000 subscribers. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 900 no hype videos and shop at our affiliate links below, as well as with our decanters that help us with our channel. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than the latest Lelabo fragrance for 2026. This is none other than Lelabo Violette 30. Yes, Lelabo Violette 30. And this fragrance right here is not a special edition. This is going to be part of their permanent collection, their permanent rotation of fragrances that you can find out. In boutiques and online. Okay, now this sample, which is really cheap, $8 on the official website, got to me super quick. I ordered it and then the next day it came. Probably because we do have a boutique here in LA and they probably process these samples very quick. So if you have a boutique in town, next day is going to be the shipping on this. Now, obviously this fragrance right here, the chief note or the spotlight note is going to be violet. And violet has, in my opinion, in different fragrances, as many forms. Sometimes you're going to get a soft and powdery violet, and sometimes you're going to get the conditioner-like, candied, ultra-sweet violet in other fragrances as well. But, it's really cool that they used violet as the spotlight note in this fragrance right here because, like I said, could be anything. And of course, as with always, the Lelabo pyramid for this fragrance is very interesting. I found it very interesting. And it's been getting a lot of mixed first impression reviews from people that have tried this fragrance. So today, of course, we're going to do the no hype breakdown. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Lelabo for 2026, Violette 30. Starting with this opening right here, which is, in my opinion, this is where it's at. Okay, this is to me the best part of the entire fragrance because it's the most impactful, and also the medley of notes are pretty damn nice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Right here in the opening, guys, you're gonna get the notes of violet, rose, aldehydes, and white tea. Now let me break this down for y'all, okay? First and foremost, guys, you're gonna get the bright aldehydes that kind of smell like clean laundry. You got the clean laundry aldehydes coming out here, glistening. It's a nice mood awakener right here in the opening of Violette 30. But then there's a contrast, guys, okay? As you are smelling the nice, bright aldehydes, bright and clean aldehydes, you're also going to get a powdery combination of that soft, sweet violet, a soft, powdery rose as well. And then the clincher here is going to be the white tea note that, in my opinion, kind of makes the same case as when they use violet, powdery violet, and musk in fragrances. But in this case, the gradient note is going to be white tea. So this opening, in my opinion, is really, really nice. Matter of fact, my first impression was, wow, this is pretty damn nice. And I think everyone that's ever smelled this, even my wife, said, oh, this is damn beautiful, because it is a combination of a lot of notes that we like. You have that nice, bright aldehydic start with comforting, powdery, violet, really soft violet and rose, and then of course that tea note that again kind of mimics the effect of watery musks. And that is why this intro is compared to a lot of violet musk fragrances out there. I think a lot of Byrettos are brought up, Mojave Ghost, Desert Dawn have been brought up. I get it, but this one doesn't have the musk. This one uses white tea, which is in itself a nice thing, something that a lot of people love in the mainstream. So that's the cool thing. It's like masterfully blended in with the powdery and soft and, you know, sweet stuff, the violet, the rose, and then, like I said, bright aldehydes right here. Like I said, this is where it's at. This is the first opener, first impression, and I think a lot of people, especially the people running in the boutique of Lelabo, will like the intro of this fragrance right here. Okay, now let's talk about initial sillage and projection of this fragrance right here. So like I said, the strength is in the intro of this fragrance. You're gonna get a nice lingering draw-in scent. I believe that people around you will smell you. It's not gonna be nuclear by any means, but people will smell you wearing this fragrance. And I think that this is also going to be for the wearer as a nice mood enhancer / mood calmer. It's got the calming properties of the white tea, and it also has the comforting properties of the powdery violet with some soft rose. And like I said, aldehydes are really great because it's a mood enhancer in the opening as well. So I think sillage and projection, very decent for the strength that's in the opener of this fragrance right here, Violet 30. Okay, now let's head into the mid of Lelabo Violet 30. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all that have seen the fragrance pyramid of this fragrance are probably wondering, like, where does this, mid go with the notes that's out here? Because right here in the mid, you have the notes of incense, cumin, and saffron. And so I'm sure a lot of y'all are like, wow, where does this go? What kind of development is this scent going to be with this type of mid? Knowing these notes and knowing that some of these notes are in fragrances that a lot of y'all like. So saffron, for example, is one of those big things out there, and saffron is usually in larger amounts in other fragrances. It is a spice that has some slight sweet and leathery properties, and in Arabic fragrances, for example, and in other fragrances, saffron is in a strong, very prominent amount. Well, let me tell you here that in Violet 30, it's not in a prominent amount. It's actually more of like a light drizzle of spices to kind of like match the powdery like nature or texture of this fragrance, and then just have a slight drizzle of saffron in the mid of Violet 30. Now, the thing that's really prominent, the note that's really prominent in Violet 30's mid is going to be the incense, which is actually not even really incensey. It's more like a gaiac wood, which is also a base note here, but it's more of like a woody incense type note with only ever slight smokiness, guys. Okay, so if you can imagine, you've got a very light smoky wood with a drizzle of saffron, a drizzle, as well as your warming cumin. That's basically the next part of the gradient that is created by the tea note. So cumin is a warming note, but none of them are like really so strong and so prominent that they really do stand out. It feels like a smoky, woody, warming, continuum with just a drizzle of saffron, if that makes sense. So this fragrance doesn't go into a tangent of, okay, louder notes, louder incense, louder saffron coming out here in the mid of Violet 30. No, definitely this one creates a continuous, almost like, comforting, woody, warming, with just a little drizzle of saffron in the mid right here. So I think that was an interesting thing, having those notes. And finally, after going through a couple of these samples right here, I can tell you that this mid is basically a comforting, woodsy gradient mid with, again, just a drizzle of saffron. Okay, now let's head into the dry down right here of Lelabo Violet 30. Now, in the dry down, you have the notes of gaiac wood, patchouli, cedar, as well as amber. Okay, now, obviously, just looking at that, you have a gang of woody notes, all right? It's a majority woodsy notes. And so, with the prerequisite being a woody incense, just slight smoky woody incense, it's the same thing as well. It's a continuum into the dry down, having some woodsy, slightly smoky type of ending here, with the amber just being the slight sweetener in this mix. Something that the saffron also did in the mid, a slight sweetener, but then the amber is the slight sweetener of the dry down, but still it's going to be smoky, woodsy, comforting. Now, one thing I will say, guys, is that in the dry down, none of these notes are strong enough to really be prominent. Like if you can really detect them one by one, you must have like an amazing nose to smell, because really this fragrance performance-wise weakens at hour 6. Okay, that's one thing I will say on this fragrance. Some complaints about this fragrance, they're saying it's gone within 2 hours. I don't think so. I only sprayed like a little bit, and for me, it did last past 6 hours. But I'm just saying that there is a performance drop at hour 6 to where I can't say that this is like the other dry downs of other fragrances that are really prominent. You can really separate the notes. It feels like a continuum of the mid, to be honest. Some people are saying this is the dry down of Santal 33. Can't really confirm that because it wasn't even strong enough, okay? Basically, it's still going to be slight smoky woods with some slight sweetness from amber, but definitely it's going to be woodsy towards the end and slightly smoky. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Lelabo Violette 30? I'm going to say this, that the opening is where it's at. And actually, the thing about the opening is that, you know, opening to mid has a very nice consistency on the strength. Yes, this thing does not last very long, in my opinion, but the strength of the intro to me is potent enough, as well as, you know, heading into the mid, heading into the first 6 hours of the scent, which may matter to a lot of people that care about first impressions, that care about really good first impressions, because this fragrance will deliver it for you. Every time I've worn this fragrance around people, I've gotten compliments, and even for me, every time I smell it, I go, ooh, this is really nice. It does perk me up to a degree because of the aldehydes. And then also, the violet rose combination is powdery and soft. It's not candied violet. And then at the same time, you've got that tea note that, like I said, they inserted. That's the clincher. Having the white tea note instead of musk made this Violet 30 a lot more interesting than its competitors that use musk usually with these types of notes. So opening is where it's at, guys, and it's a nice mood enhancer. It's great for the user. It's gonna get you compliments. But of course, you know, performance isn't gonna be where a lot of people want this fragrance to be, especially that the dry down could have been something that you could really smell, which I barely could. Now, usage wise, guys, this fragrance to me is gonna be a grabber. Okay, this could be a casual grab, an everyday grab, all the way to upscale, all the way to signature scent. Why? Because it definitely puts you in a nice mood, okay? It definitely puts you in this like heavenly mood. You got this like nice brightness, you've got the powderiness, the comfort, you got some slight smoky woodsiness right here, which is to me very likable. And like I said, it's a compliment getter, it's a mood enhancer, a mood calmer. So I feel like this is going to be a very usable Lelabo. Now, this fragrance to me is also more femme-leaning than unisex, but of course that's up to you. I mean, whatever you guys want. If you are a man and you like unisex scents, maybe this will work for you. But to me, this is more of a femme-leaning grabber right here. And also, weather-wise, this is any weather, AC environments. But the bottom line, I will say, is that it's a trendy scent. It uses the comfort of powdery notes, the brightness, and the clean aldehydes right here, as well as that tea note, like I said, that is becoming increasingly popular nowadays in a lot of scents like Louis Vuitton Imagination. Them inserting that here makes this fragrance a trendy grabber that, like I said, I think the boutique people going into the boutiques for the first time who will spray this on a blotter or on themselves are gonna like this straight up. Okay, now total performance on this one. This is pretty important because a lot of people are complaining about the performance of Violet 30, and I will agree that it's not at the best, okay? But also, I'm not gonna say that this fragrance dies out in 2 hours, okay? That's ridiculous. And especially with the big Lelabo bottle, I'm pretty sure it's gonna spray a lot more juice than this thing right here. Now, to me, I mean, I used and abused these samples. This is my second sample already. And when I tested this fragrance, the max for me of the strength is 8 to 9 hours, which is, again, with the strongest part being the first 6, kind of weakens up until 8 or 9. Now, you can still smell some smoky woods as well, some light amber past even 12 hours. Not gonna lie, I can still smell it after that. But it's not going to be as consistently strong as, say, the first 8 to 9 hours of the scent. Again, the first 6 is the strongest. That's why I feel this is a casual grab, simply because usually it's the first 6 hours when you wear it, when you're out there socializing or going through your day. It's not one of those where like it has to last 12 hours. So I would say it's quite okay. But of course, some performance heads that expect more will say something bad, that it's not really as long lasting as they want it to be. Okay, and finally, let's look at the cost of this fragrance right here, Lelabo Violette 30, and is it worth a full bottle? Now, Lelabo sells these fragrances in different sizes, $8 for the sample, 100 something for 15 ml, still a bottle, and then you have $240 for 50 ml and $340 for 100 ml. The thing I'm going to say is that there could be some redundancy if you have some fragrances that have musk and violet or orris or powder and aldehydes. There's a lot on the Byredo side that are like that. Mojave Ghost, Desert Dawn, even Animalique has something like that. So there could be some redundancy right there. That's why, in my opinion, get a sample for $7. Relatively inexpensive. Get it shipped and try it yourselves. But if you don't have anything like it, let me tell you, this is a nice twist to that formula, to the violet musk formula. They added tea, they added bright aldehydes, and so it does give you a nice good mood and impression when you wear this, and you're gonna get compliments. And the fact that it's a very usable fragrance, a casual grab, anytime, anywhere fragrance, puts it at, you know, possible full bottle worthiness. Okay, so again, try this from Lelabo. They will ship it to you very quickly, and if you like it, then great. They have many sizes for you to choose from 15 ml, which is $100, all the way to 100 ml if you really like it. And that's it. That's my no hype review of the latest Lelabo fragrance, Violette 30. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance right here. For those that have tried it at the boutiques or who got the sample early like me, let me know on the comments below. And does it smell like something you already own? Definitely, again, there might be some redundancy with some Byredos out there. Let me know in the comments below, guys. And again, I've got a lot of scents coming up. I mean, that's why I'm doing this as well, because there's so many I'm testing right now. Can't wait to tell you all about all of these very soon. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, because there's a lot more coming. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.